In this video, we are going to talk about how do you go from 1 million to 3 million, 5 million, and 20 and 30 and 40 million and beyond. And what are some of the things that we have done as an organization and some of the mistakes that I've made as a CEO. So maybe you are stuck at a couple $1 million a year and you're not quite sure how do you go to that next level. And people say that your first million is the hardest, which I agree, because below 1 million, you are trying to find the product market fit, maybe testing different markets, maybe also refining your offer, right? It's all about sales and marketing. How do you get leads? How to convert those leads? And once you have that, I believe anything above 1 million, right? You only have one problem, and that is people. People. Anything above 1 million, your problem is not actually the real problem. Your problem is not I have a revenue problem or I have a sales problem. You have a sales people problem. You don't have a marketing problem. You have a marketer problem. You don't have customer support problem. You have customer service people problem. Now, one of the many mistakes that I made that I didn't know, but now I know, and I don't want you to make that mistake, is this. Your greatest strength, your strongest suit will become your greatest weakness as you scale. What do I mean by this? At a couple $1 million, I was the strongest closer within my company. That means I am the rainmaker, I am the driver, I bring in the revenue, right? Because I could communicate and I know how to sell. So because I am so strong, right, in sales and closing, the company depends on me, always on me, to bring in the revenue. So my greatest strength, my strongest suit becomes my greatest weakness. What it means is if I am not on the phone, if I'm not meeting with clients, I'm not growing the company. Until I started building a little sales team, right? A team that other people could close, but they couldn't close as well as I do. So it's always, they might close some sales, but a majority of the sales still coming from me. Now to learn, I need to pivot. I need to learn how to build a sales team and how do I have sales managers in place and how could I elevate my team to my closing skills. So it's very, very interesting because throughout that process, I noticed, hey, you know what? I could always close better. I wanted to jump back into it. But then I become the bottleneck. I was the biggest bottleneck until I have structure and a team in place, because a sales leader's job is not to grow sales. A sales leader's job is to grow sales people in both quality and quantity. So that's a mindset shift that I had to make. You notice when you are growing, after $1 to $3 million, your focus is no longer focusing on what needs to be done or how to do something. Not just what and how. How do I get more customers? How do I sell more? How do I create a better product? At 10 millions and above, your focus shifts from what and how to who. Who could do this for me? Who could I hire? Who do I need to recruit that could build the business? So pretty much think of it this way. Below 10 million, you are building the business. You are the driver, right? Anything above 10 million a year in revenue, you're building your people, and then your people are building the business. Now you're much more in a leadership position. You're leading the team. You might not be the best at doing that particular thing anymore. You bring in people. Now here's the problem. People talk about you only want to hire A players to join your company. Now it sounds good in theory. From my experience, that doesn't work, because when you have a small business doing a few $1 million a year, A players would not want to come work for your company. It's very, very difficult to attract talents or attract talents at a quantity that you need. You might have a couple good ones, a couple good loyal ones, but a majority of your team, they will not be made up of A players. You might have a lot of B players. So you got to make do with B players. How to get the most out of B players, because we cannot compete with the Amazon, the Facebook and Google yet, right? We can't. Even now we can't. Even the size that we have. So how do we get the most out of our people? The team that wins is not the team that has the most talents. That's not true. The team that wins is the team that gets along the best. So how do you make sure the people within your team, the team dynamic, the team morale is good, right? So you will not have A players in the beginning, you have a bunch of B players, you have to live with that and how to get the most out of them. From my experience in my own organization, in the beginning, I could only afford to hire people with less skills than me. I'm the best marketer in my company, I'm the best strategist in my company, I'm the best closer in my company. So in the beginning, I was hiring, because that's all I could afford, people with less skills. And you will go through this, that's stage one. Stage two, once you're at maybe, let's say $10 million a year, you could hire people with some more skills and some more experience. But when they come in, you're not training them from scratch. They know, they have experience, or they've done this in the past, but they don't know how you do something. They don't know your culture, they don't know the way that you work. So they will need some coaching from you. Basically, how we do it here, how we do things here. So you've got experience, that's good, but this is how our team works and this is how our product works. So that's kind of stage two. When you are at 20, 30 million, now you have some sort of executive team and management team. That's your VP of sales, your VP of marketing, operation, and finance, right? And within your company, just so you know, when you're growing, if you are the driver, chances are you are, otherwise you wouldn't be here, that you are what I call gas people, just like a car. You can't just have all gas people in the company. You need to have some people who are like brick people, meaning finance, bookkeeping, support, admin, so that you don't crash, to make sure you don't get into an accident, right? So you don't just all gas and no brake. And in the beginning, you might not feel comfortable. You're like, hey man, I can move quick. Let me just get things done. Let me get shit done. And then you have people who are telling you, no, you gotta watch out for legal, support, finance, and all these things. You're like, well, you're just getting into my way. No, you gotta have both types of people, gas and brake. So at that multiple eight figure, now you have an executive team. Now at stage three, you are bringing on people that actually know about certain subjects, or they have certain skill sets that are way better than you. So they're coming in, they are telling you what to do. They're telling you how sales should be done. They're telling you how marketing should be done. They're telling you how support should be done. And it feels a little bit weird in the beginning. At least for me, it was. Because I am no longer the smartest person in the company. I focus on strategies, vision, culture, decision making, and I spend more time focusing on the who. So that's how you go from that couple $1 million to 5 million, 10, 20, 30 million dollars, because you shift from what do I need to do, how do I need to do it, to buying time, to who do I need to hire that could do this for me, who has already done it that I could bring into my company that could help accelerate my growth. And most CEOs, they're not comfortable with that. They want to be the rainmakers. They want to be the drivers. And that's what I have experienced as well. So knowing after $1 million, the only problem you have is people. Focus on your people, build your people, and then let your people build your business. Maybe you're stuck right now in your business and it's not your fault. Chances are that I have been there and I have overcome those challenges that are preventing you from going to that next level. Let me give you the roadmap so you finally have the clarity that you need to grow your business. I'll give you the exact steps and systems that you need to move quickly. This is not for beginners, this is for serious business owners who want to level up. Follow the link to find out more about my 5-day SMART challenge.